This video is brought to you by Into the AM. Into the AM is my longest running sponsor. I've been partnering with them for years now, and I think their quality is second to none. Right now, Into the AM is having its biggest sale of the year for this Black Friday. It's 30 to 80% off until November 30th. They have the best gear, they have the most comfortable stuff, and it's for the best price. It is insane how good the price is for how good the quality is, which is why it's perfect for the upcoming holiday season for gifts or even for just yourself. Just look at this right here. This is one of my favorite tees that they come out recently, and they have a plethora of them. There is so much good stuff that they have that, like, I can't even show you all, but there's just a sample. And the cool thing is, on top of the Black Friday sale, you can use my code, which stacks upon the Black Friday sale, so you'll get the big discounts, and if you use code SBG, you'll get an additional 10% off upon your checkout. So go to intotheam.com/SBG or click the link in the description to check them out. I promise you guys will not be disappointed. I absolutely adore their stuff. And thanks again, Into the AM. I appreciate y'all very much so. What's going on, everyone? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Wanted to talk about all the weird and wacky stuff that's surrounding Slipknot, because it's a weird feeling to have kind of lost faith, to have a feeling of disdain for a band that I've loved since I was probably like 12 years old. And I'm sure so many people feel the same. It all really started to feel like a downhill thing when Chris Fane got kicked out of the band. That just felt really weird. Obviously, there was other things that happened prior. I mean, people were just saddened that, Paul passed away. That happens. Joey Jordison gets kicked out of the band, and everyone's like, what the heck is going on? That one felt really weird because there was a he said, she said. It seemed kind of like, when you really examine everything as a whole, maybe, because it doesn't really make sense. Like, why are you going to kick out this guy that is so beloved, who is such an amazing drummer? How are you going to do that? And it seems like, and say how Joey passed away, it seems like there was some validity to what Slipknot was saying. And even though Joey was saying he was having some back issues or some type of issues that was having him not being able to play, it looks like those were issues that were linked to his substance abuse. Like those were things, like the outcome of that. And other band members from other projects that he's played with, they corroborated that. So it felt bad, but at the same time was kind of understandable. And so you get to a point where Jay Weinberg gets in the band, and everyone's like, let's see how this goes. Ends up doing a great job. I mean, We Are Not Your Kind, the second album that Jay was on, I thought, okay, he truly belongs in this band. I felt like his grooves and everything that he started bringing to the band really felt like it matched. The Great Chapter felt a little lackluster. Great album. I really liked the album, but it just didn't. It felt like filler. It felt like somebody who's just doing their job well, but not somebody who's been particularly in this band and who's really contributing and making up their own type of stuff. And so We're Not Your Kind, fantastic. I was excited. I think everybody was happy. Dude was in the band for like 10 years and then just gets let go, gets kicked out. Slipknot releases a statement saying they're going to go in a different creative direction. They delete the statement, so that kind of lets you know that something's up. Not that I was hoping that maybe it was a mutual departure, but when you have behavior like that, you kind of know that it's not mutual. So then Jay finally comes out. He has a statement and saying that he was blindsided. He loves his time in Slipknot, but he was blindsided as well. And so it's one of those things where, like, what the heck is going on? So everybody's souring on Slipknot. But that's kind of like one thing right there that I want to just explore a little bit, because it begs the question, if Jay was doing such a great job, if he was deemed Metal Drummer of the Year of this year, and everyone's loving him, why on earth would you let this dude go? It just doesn't make sense. Occam's razor would suggest that it doesn't make sense, right? There would have to be some sort of reason that we don't know, that's behind the scenes of why he got let go. And this happens so often. And a lot of times, either party won't be 100% truthful. I wish they would be. I wish there was transparency. I feel like the fans are owed it. It would be nice. You don't have to know everything, but if there is some sort of a departure, it'd be nice to just let your people know. I mean, even when Craig, when he left the band, all we kind of heard was he had some personal things he needed to deal with. And that's fine, like that's cool, but I guess just coming from my own perspective. And probably, doing YouTube for 7-8 years has given me more of that type of perspective that I would want to. They don't need to know every single detail of what's going on, but I would just let them know, hey guys, I'm dealing with this. This is what's going on. I just got, and then everyone would be like, dude, totally understand. Thank you for the clarification. Like, do what you got to do, man. Thank you for all the years and like that kind of thing. Because that's particularly what I'd want to do personally. But, sometimes there's sour stuff and people just don't want to unearth everything. I mean, I have had the privilege of knowing some stuff that has happened behind the scenes with bands getting kicked out, or bands kicking out, like, say, major vocalists, things that have happened recently, this year and in a couple years ago, of just knowing some behind the scenes stuff. And I'm like, wow, what people know in the public versus what's going on behind the scenes is very different. And so I'm assuming this is the exact same scenario. The only things we have to go off of, and it's not much, is that Jay has had trouble with bands in the past. There was a band that I can't remember their name. I had it, but then it kind of just popped out of my head. But he was drumming for a particular band before he got into Slipknot, where he essentially ghosted the band. Allegedly, that is what's been said. And the lead singer of that band, this woman, came out and was trashing Jay and saying this is poetic justice. Now there was people pushing back and trashing that chick in return, saying, who are you? Who's your band? But that doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know why you'd be elitist in that situation. That is completely irrelevant. If he did it, he did it. If he didn't, he did it, right? And so the thing is, I'm like, if he did do it, that is a dick move, and that says something about your character. And to support that also, Jay used to drum in Madball. Madball's an old school, not super old school, but old school enough, a hardcore band, well respected. There's a lot of people in the metal and hardcore community that love Madball. I've seen them one time, fun show. He used to drum for Madball. Then while they were doing a tour, he got let go. And then it became another he said, she said. They were saying, he's not gelling with the way that we do things. This is not cool. And then on the other end, Jay was saying this, almost essentially the same thing, but just from his perspective, that like their lifestyle is not how I live. So it's kind of a he said, she said. And I'm like, I don't know what's true. However, when you have these two bands that Jay were a part of, that he didn't leave on a high note, and now you're having Slipknot relieving him of his duties, well, I'm kind of inclined to think that, well, this might be on Jay. Because you got to think of, like, why would they let this dude go? Look at what it has done to Slipknot's, look what it's done to their reputation. If you go to any Slipknot post, if you go to Corey Taylor posting or whatever, people are just trashing Slipknot. They're particularly mad at Corey and Sean, right? They're the two main owners of the band, and pretty much everybody else is kind of like a contractor, right? And so that was problems that Chris Fain had and why he's gone. And it's just one of those things that people feel like, dang, this feels way more like a business than it does like a brotherhood, like how it used to be. And maybe it's true, and maybe that's what happened, let's say, when Paul died. Like, when he died, it obviously destroyed Corey to everybody in the band, but him to the point where he didn't want to do Slipknot for a while, so he started doing Stone Sour. He really started just focusing on other things, and some of the other band members were getting frustrated because obviously they wanted to move forward, and they had to wait for everything, all the pieces to fall into place to really start going again. And so I think there have been problems since then. And then there's obviously just aging. There's a lot of things like not being as, when they're in their 20s, in their early 20s, the music was incredibly aggressive, and then now it's matured to a certain point because they're very mature. They're in their like late 40s and stuff. So after a while, you're like, well, my body can't keep up with this stuff. I still love it. My mind still loves it, but I can't keep up with it. So vibes, things have changed quite a bit. There was even talk about like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Slipknot was kind of like Kiss, where it's all about the numbers and the mask and not the people behind them? Well, the problem is that's not how things work. People want to know if they appreciate the people who are behind the mask that made all of this music. So they want to know these people, and y'all have let us in over the years. Slipknot let us in over the years. We've gotten to see these people unmasked. I mean, hell, they even did what was it? Before I forget, now you don't get to see everyone's face in particular, but they had no mask on. They're wearing regular clothes. It was getting way more intimate. So to the point where you can't go that Kiss route where it's like, we're going to have 1,000 members. You just put the face paint on and it's all good. And so that's kind of like what it seems like was happening with Slipknot, where you have all these different members now in the band. Because, dude, Joey's gone, Paul's gone, Chris is gone, Craig's gone. Now, Jay is gone now. Like it's like, oh wow, this is crazy. Now just bring everybody else in, slap on some new mask, and then we're gonna have a good time. Now to be fair, I did see them. I saw them with Jay, and it was a great freaking show. Sound awesome. Corey sounded amazing still. Everything sounded good. So I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I don't know who their new drummer is gonna be. Everybody's speculating. There was actually I don't know if there was people who were like, I don't know if this was serious or if people were screwing around. Like there was this dude that drums for a band called Venom Inc. that he posted something Slipknot related and saying timing is everything when it comes to drums. I'm paraphrasing. Then he deletes that, so people were thinking, oh, did he like jump the gun? Is that who they're gonna get? Don't know. I have no idea. If I had my choice, it would be Shannon Lucas. I want Shannon Lucas to be a part of every band that I like, because he enhances everything that he touches. When I think of two of my favorite albums in metal, The Fall of Ideals and Nocturnal from the Black Dahlia Murder, two albums that Shannon Lucas drummed on, and one of the reasons why I like those albums so much is the drums in particular. The drum, just the writing on them is so brilliant that I feel like he just elevates everybody else's writing, because he brings such a unique style. And if he joined Slipknot, now I don't know what Shannon's doing. I know a long time ago he owned I think a tattoo shop, and I think he started drumming again. But I'm just saying, this is just me. It's selfishly like, bro, if Shannon Lucas got in Slipknot, holy shit. You know what that would honestly do? I would honestly be like, Jay Weinberg who? Even though I love and respect the hell out of him, would love to meet him and shake his hand one day, but I would say if Shannon got into the band, I'd be like, even to the point where I think Joey's one of the most creative drummers, not the most technical. He wasn't the most, like, there are people that are just machines, right? But I think he was the most creative drummer by far. And I think the stuff that he created, the fills that he would write, it was so fun to play. If you were a drummer, you know how much playing Slipknot songs are fun to play. But I think Shannon, I can only imagine. Let's just revisionist history. Like I said, I love Joey Jordison. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying, let's just have a little fun. Shannon Lucas joining Slipknot a long time ago. Let's say he joins. Like, what does the Gray Chapter sound like? It probably sounds like one of Slipknot's best albums, I imagine, because that album was just like, the drums are fine, but it was it's just thinking about it is so cool. But I just, I love the idea of this. But anyway, that's what we got going on so far. As far as anything else, I have not seen any other information. I wish I had more information. I've asked around about things, haven't really gotten any bites. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Let me know who you think the drummer is going to be, who's going to replace Jay Weinberg, and let me know who you would like to be in Slipknot, just as a fun social experiment too. Let me know what drummer you think would fit well in Slipknot, because, you know, I know a lot of you would probably agree that Shannon would be dope, but there's probably a lot of other people who'd be like, nah, check this out. But that's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.